Hey guys, welcome back. It is Trekyards live time. Woo!
And he is Captain Foley.
Who? Where? What? What?
Hugh,
What?
sir.
Oh yeah, you're Samuel.
And I am Commander Coggins. See, time is all displaced because we're making predictions. No, that was something else I was thinking. Hi, Stuart.
Hello.
So it's funny, we're just having a normal conversation, and I said, alright, we're going live. So it's kind of fun to go from like a normal conversation to like live. Hi, Stuart. It's weird.
Hello. Which is generally just a normal conversation.
Yeah.
Just with a whole bunch of other people.
And Dave Cotton says, no spoilers. Well, David, we don't know anything. So this is all speculation or predictions. We don't know anything. I'm trying to avoid things. So they could cheeky people in the chat that know everything, and they're going to say, oh, what if this happened? I don't know. You know, I don't know. It's like I try to stay away from like the Rise of Skywalker stuff, the leaks, because they could have been real, it could have been fake, but why take the risk?
Yeah, exactly. So this is all just speculation on our part today. We're not one of the lucky ones that saw the first 3 episodes at a premiere, so...
yeah, what a weird thing to do as well. Like, to show all 3 episodes.
You would think if they did that they would air them that way too. Like a mini TV movie as the pilot.
I mean, that'd be cool, full-on movie, yeah.
Yeah.
And then turn it as a box set by itself. Because, I mean, the one thing I do hear is that they don't really get the story going until after. Like, that's a self-contained 3, really.
Yeah.
So that would have been kind of cool. Release it as a 3-movie disc by Blu-ray right now. You know, first 4K Star Trek Blu-ray disc. Boom, it's the Picard Chapter 1, the movie.
Picard, the movie.
Yeah, Star Trek Picard, the movie. The #1 Chronicles. But yes, it's all predictions, all fun to have, and we're going to go through some of the pictures on this season on. A lot of them have already been seen, obviously, but we're going to discuss them because now we know the stuff that's been shown in the trailers that's been burned through. So this new stuff, it changes the context a lot, and some of them very distinctly.
Yeah. So, welcome everybody. 72 of you here currently. Hopefully that number climbs up a bit, but make sure...
So...
Oh, well, I see 72. So, however many are here, hit like.
There's 2,000, Stuart. YouTube just really crap at showing us. Maybe.
I doubt that, but maybe.
I'm going to start showing, though, and you can talk to our wonderful people. Wonderful people here.
That's right. You guys are the regulars. You're always here. You're always helping us out. So, guys, be sure to help us out. If you want to have your voice heard, your comment read, your question answered, by all means, put it in a super chat, and we will definitely read it. The regular chat flies by a little bit quickly, considering that we're talking about other things and can't really pay attention. So we try to get a few interesting tidbits out of that. But usually it's you guys talking back and forth amongst yourselves. So best way to get noticed is super chats, and it also helps with the channel. So also don't forget about our Patreon and PayPal. All that stuff is down in the description below of every video, and there's also other links down there. You can save yourself money on Eagle Moss ships and get discounts on other stuff, and buy some Trekyards merchandise, guys. We got some really cool Trekyards merchandise. Maybe more coming up soon, but check out the Teespring store and scoop yourself up some Trekyards shirts, phone cases. We got everything on the Teespring store, so go down and click those links if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. It's also a fun way to show your love for Trekyards as well out in the world. We've met a lot of people that have the Trekyards shirts and merchandise, and it's really cool to see that out in the wild. So, yeah, if you can, please do. It's a great way to support the channel. One of the best ways, though, is Patreon. It is our monthly subscription service. So if you go down, click the Patreon link down below, or just go to Patreon/Trekyards. You can join us that way, and you get some bonus animations and stuff from Samuel, depending on your Patreon level donation. So if you are already a Patreon member, but you're only like $1 a month or something, you might want to consider upping it just a tad to get some bonus animations and stuff, because you know Samuel does fantastic ship renders, and since we're the ship guys, it's a great way to get unique content that we don't really release anywhere else. So by all means, go check out Patreon and see if you can help us out. So 112 people here now is what I'm showing, and so yeah, just guys, hit like. Let's get those likes up. We're already over 50, so that's fantastic. Captain's feet is a bit max headroom. That's, yeah. So episode if you can. And honestly, if you have predictions or whatever for Chapter 2 and you want to get them out now before or Chapter 2, or this is The Mandalorian, no, Episode 2, make sure you put them in the chat or super chat them, and that way we'll read them on air, and then you can say, ha, I knew beforehand what was going to happen.
Because super chatting your predictions, that is the way.
He has spoken. That's right.
Oh god. Yeah. No. Good to be here. And it's so strange. It's so strange that in like 9 hours, episode 2 is released. Like in real time. Like that's weird. It being 3 a.m. on. Obviously, America's quite a broad set of time zones. I don't know which times. I think maybe Central at 3, or no.
I'm not sure.
No, I think it said that every one of the time zones in the US, it's therefore Thursday. That's the point. Obviously, I'll see it on Friday, so you know it's like right at the edge, but also for me, it's like a day and like all of Thursday and then part of Friday. It's weird, and hopefully people won't spoil it. I mean, I well, just gotta stay off the scroll of Facebook. It's like, oh god, I will bitch for 1 second, not about Star Trek, but obviously we are. I mean, I hope you guys will agree. We've had a lot of content over the last week, but the titles themselves aren't spoilers. I think we've been pretty careful to keep them, Dahj's character revealed. That could mean literally everything, anything, but it's, okay, she's important, but we already knew that. They're not spoilers, because we don't want to spoil other people. And the Star Trek Facebook page has been okay. I haven't, but the Doctor Who Facebook page, whoever's a fan of the show, I won't spoil it, but there's 2 things that happened in the last episode, and I didn't see on Sunday because I wasn't around. And by Monday, the first one had spoiled to me because they posted an image saying, "Look, this! What do you guys think?" The next day, and yesterday, 2 hours before I watched the episode, the second thing was spoiled because I was on my phone looking at news, and there was a news article revealing the entire thing, and it's like, it's been 2 days. But obviously they want to make views and get clicks. And it's my fault for not watching it the day of, but it's like the Doctor Who Facebook page spoiled their show 1 day after it came out. Like not a little bit, like boom. So thank goodness Star Trek isn't saying, "Reveal Dahj is this," 2 hours after, because time zones. I mean, if they revealed it 1 day after, it still wouldn't come out for me yet. So at least they're not being bad about it, because Doctor Who is terrible about it.
And just so you guys know, if you do want to talk about the episode as soon as it comes out, there's always a spoiler, a specific spoiler post on the Trekyards page where you can go into that, and then people know going in that there's going to be spoilers. So that's where you discuss all your spoiler stuff in that post. So you can discuss it with other Trekyards fans as well. Just if you post a spoiler to the page, it'll likely get declined just because we don't want to have spoilers all over our page. So there's one specific post that shows nothing, so you see it, it's like, oh, a spoiler post, okay. Only if you click into it will you have the spoilers, and we kind of pride ourselves on that because we don't want to have things spoiled for people if we can help it. We do still have to make content, obviously, so sometimes some of that content we release the more spoiler filled stuff kind of later in the week as we get close to the next episode, because it gives people more time to have seen it. So hopefully we don't spoil anything for you. If we do, we apologize right away. But we gotta strike while the iron is hot, so to speak, as far as views and stuff goes. So Not a Banned Account puts in $1.99. Maybe what happened to X didn't go how it looked. Dahj, I assume you're talking about there. You can have spoilers in here. I mean, for episode 1, because like I said, as the week progresses, we release more spoiler kind of content leading up to the next episode. So with this, prediction live, people that are here either don't care about spoilers or already know what happened with episode 1. So.
I'm trying to fix the audio again because it sounded fine, but now it's not fine. So I'm trying to adjust us because, it keeps changing all the time. So I'm saying something to Stuart, and you can say something, and I'll listen back in 1 second. Hopefully it's fine now.
Okay, I didn't know that the audio was off. I hate that every time we set it up because of Skype. It changes audio levels and stuff in OBS. It's real annoying. So sometimes it's all fine. Other times we're really quiet or one's louder. It just kind of sucks. So we'll get it sorted out. There you go. 155 people here. You guys all are awesome. Please hit like. And like I said, if you want to have your spoiler read, by all means, send us a super chat. Super chats are kind of the way that we, the lifeblood. I wasn't going to say that this time. I deliberately in my head said I'm not saying lifeblood this time, but
I said it for you.
I know. It's our bread and butter, I guess.
That's why we're a team, Stuart.
Yes. So, if you guys can, please do, and also, like I said, other ways support the channel as well. So, please do that. So yeah. Romulan factions will be shown Republic Empire. I'm sure we're going to see more Romulans. We'll get into all that. This has been asked a few times now. I don't know if it's the same person, but is Command gold again now? We have no way of knowing. That'd be kind of neat if they went back to the gold for Command, but I kind of doubt it, to be honest.
Okay, so, I'll try to do a thing, but it's you don't. I don't know. I've tried. Guys, let us know. Is this better? I keep trying, so let us know.
And Autoband account puts in another $1.99. So thank you. Dahj could have beamed out the last second like Sloane. Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility. They could have been, with the explosion, she could have been beamed out, and then they regenerate her, fix her up. Thermal regenerators, whatever.
I mean, she's also an android, so I mean, you can, maybe heal the body easier. I think it's easier to say she's dead. I think we'll see Dahj again as a flashback. Or you could, maybe there's like, maybe she's had wirelessly linked memories with Soji for some of the time. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you see flashbacks with them two acting together in a backstory bit. We know that she saw Picard.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a thing. But I mean, there's going to be. Okay. Question to you then. Let me just cut to a thumbnail or a picture which is reflective of that. So how many layers deep do you think this Dahj, obviously she's now dead, but the Soji thing is? They've told us that she's a semi-clone of Data's neural pathways. What that means, we'll find out or not. But also she's in a Romulan camp. The Romulan camp is in a Borg ship. How many layers beyond that do you think it's going to go? Is that going to be the reveal, or is there going to be more? Where do you think they're going to stop with that, or is it going to be as simple as, yeah, she's the twin of an dead android clone? Like it's already pretty convoluted. But are we going to go further than that? Do you think?
That's a good question, and the answer is possibly. It's hard to really say at this point. Now, whether Starfleet or the Federation or Section 31 or somebody is working with the Romulans on this Borg cube, and that's why she's assigned there, we don't know yet. But it'll be interesting to find that out for sure. However, it would be kind of neat if there was another twist where actually when she activates, she becomes essentially Dahj. She gets all of Dahj's memories from meeting Picard. Whether that'll be the case or not, I honestly don't know, but that would be kind of cool. Should she get activated like Dahj did to just boom, yeah, all of a sudden she's got all Dahj's memories. She remembers meeting Picard and him helping her. That would be kind of neat, and it could be that way with a link they might have. However, raises this question: Soji obviously isn't activated yet, so if she gets activated, will she all of a sudden know what happened to Dahj immediately?
I don't know that she hasn't been activated. I for some reason, the vibe that she might have been. She knows more than Dahj did. Because wouldn't that be interesting if she's choosing to be who she is and help the Romulans, whereas Dahj wasn't? Maybe originally they were made in the Borg cube because of the Linux. No, it's not his name. What's the guy's name?
I forget.
Maddox. See?
Maddox. Yeah.
See, it was close. Linux, Maddox.
I thought you meant the Romulan guy.
No. Sorry, I was close though. Give me credit for that. Anyway. So if you made them in the Borg cube, what if originally they were there to help whatever, and what if Dahj just didn't want to support the cause anymore, the cause of whatever they're doing, and so they say, well, we can't kill her, but we can wipe her memory, send her and give her a new life, and then they say no, we need her back again. Has she activated? No, blah blah blah. And so instead, this character is actively aware of things. Maybe not everything, but because that'd be kind of fun. The first one is non-complicit. This one's complicit. I mean, that would certainly add some levels to that. The best villains are always the ones that actually believe in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Don't be insane. Just. I mean, for the good of the whatever. Especially if maybe I don't know. Part of the research on the Borg is to see positronic brains. Maybe. Oh God, if we get a bit dark here, maybe Maddox made a deal with the Romulans who have the Borg facility to experiment on creatures, because to actually be able to create synthetic people or even put people. I mean, he wants to live beyond death, as the other guy did with Data, but he was genius in his own right. Maybe if to fix that transition point between human to synthetic body, you have to, fix the transfer, almost like Law was doing, similar again. But that was the other way around. So what if then they made a deal that you get Borg prisoners who are different species, we unborgify them, and we have 50,000. And what if 1 every 10 goes missing? Oh no, there's a failed dissimilation.
Mm-hmm.
It just happens, it goes wrong. And he's just got the brains of all these species with the bodies, and he, tests on them. Something kind
He's
of
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah, but it's all in the guise of being able to work out a way of actually progressing technology. Because if you don't have experimentation on organics, how do you do that?
I think we're doing a full series speculation at this point.
Well, yeah. What do you think of my idea?
I think it's highly possible that Maddox is actually working with the Romulans, or at least has some kind of input, or maybe is actually on the Borg cube, doing just that, experimenting with the actual failed experiments of the Romulans, if they're trying to deborgify them. That would be very highly realistic, but I guess we'll find out. So yes, I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
But that just turns him into Dr. Frankenstein, essentially.
And also, it takes the literal look how dark the Federation's got, and now you've got, okay, he was a bit of a dick, but he was not a bad guy, into a monster but obviously you could argue that Borg aren't people, but I mean, if you're dissimilating them, then they can be. But if you keep them Borg and you experiment on Borg without unborgifying them, is that as horrific as saved Borg, if you just don't save them first? Yes, it is. It's close.
Yes, it is. Not a Band account puts in another $1.99. You are a super chat superstar today. Picard has disco writers assume simplest story. Well, yes.
Well, he has Michael Chabon, who didn't write for Discovery exactly. So he does have a level above writer, but being led by different people for sure.
Yeah.
And he didn't pen the story either.
Yeah. So
yes,
let's get into discussion about predictions for episode 2. I think it's going to basically start out with Picard heading to Starfleet headquarters to speak to the Admiralty to try to either get some kind of commission so that he can get a ship to go and investigate this. He's going to get declined, and then he's going to have to find his old XO, the lady from the comics. I forget her name offhand. And then, or he's going to see Riker, and Riker's going to put him in touch with people that might be able to help him out as well. And they're going to get the ship and the crew together, and that's what the first 3 episodes are going to be about, essentially, is assembling this crew to get out there. I don't think you're going to see anything cool getting off of Earth right away, but I think episode 2 is definitely going to have that conversation. We saw him having a conversation with an older person in a chair beside him, and there's kind of a line of dialogue saying, "Are you sure you want to go back out into the blackness or whatever?" And he says, "Now more than ever." I think it's going to be that conversation with a good friend of his, and then him putting on the old comm badge and kind of being like looking up to the stars, like. And then he's going to go to Starfleet. So I think he's going to go for advice from somebody that he knows.
Yes.
And then approach Starfleet, and then probably after being declined by Starfleet, going to go see Riker. Is my guess. So that's kind of like what episode 2 is going to encompass. It's just him trying to find a way to get a ship or whatever to investigate and go out and find Soji. Would be my guess.
And do you want to, before I jump in with my thoughts, do you want to say what you think they're going to do with the Borg subplot? Like, how they might progress that? Like, are we going to see Hugh already? Are we going to see, like, where do you think that might...
I don't think we're going to see Hugh yet. I think Hugh's going to probably come in around episode 4 or 5, maybe. It's going to kind of be a surprise reveal, almost. And we got to think about 709. I think 709 will probably show up in episode 3 or so, maybe, before he leaves. But I don't think she's going to be in episode 2. But as for the Borg, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more scenes at the reclamation site, essentially the Borg cube, and we're going to see a lot of the procedures that's going on. I think Soji's going to be doing a walk and talk with that Romulan guy that she met at the end of the last one. I forget his name, unfortunately. But I think she's going to be, showing him what they're doing, essentially. Because in the last one, he said, you spend your entire day fixing broken people. Last thing you want to do is hear my problems, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Fixing the broken people is, in my assumption, her deborgifying these drones and, making them like Hugh, which, she's no longer Borgy. So we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see the Borg on the operating tables. We're going to hear basically what they're doing, and might be a naive view because she might not know everything that's going on with the Romulans and the Borg tech.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So she's doing her own thing. The Borg or the Romulans are doing other things. They're using that Borg tech in shifty ways, I'm sure.
So obviously I'll do all my own thoughts in a minute, but just a little idea. You know how I hate god ships and hate god tech?
Yes.
As I call it. The Borg, you sort of get... So if any single drone, right? Obviously, they're a specialist drone, but if you first contact era, if you were to fight a drone one-on-one, you assume the technology in the body is advanced, right?
Yes.
Would you assume it was more advanced than the average Federation tech? And that's kind of an abstract term, but I mean, is the average drone tech like on par with Starfleet, higher than Starfleet, in like if there was a comparative thing? You know what I'm trying to say?
Not specifically.
Okay.
Let me address one comment real quick, though. Moonspot ROXX, a name I've never seen before, said, rumor is that there's someone from London, Ontario here whom I have to have a Dahj death match with for the fabled local Star Trek pencil protector of leadership. Well, Moonspot, that would be me. I'm Captain Foley, and I am from London, Ontario. So if that's the person you're looking for, I will definitely have a Dahj death match with you. I am from London. So say that again so I can kind of get a...
Sorry. Okay. So the Borg, an average Borg drone, right?
Yeah.
The tech in their body is advanced. Would you assume, in the general sense of the tech, more advanced than Federation tech in First Contact?
Yes. Because of the assimilating countless...
Yeah. So in the generalities, Borg tech is more advanced. It's different sort of tech, but obviously they got better shield. Just the fact they've got shields inside their own bodies, like, it's not explicit, and obviously you can kill Borg quite easily at a certain point, but it's more advanced, right? So how do you make more advanced technology? Well, what if it's, like you said, what if it's really the amalgamation of dozens of species? It's so weirdly sophisticated that you can't replicate it. And I'm getting to a point here that if you can just build Borg tech, we saw how the Borg tech could only be on Voyager for a limited amount of time, and then sort of reverse engineered Borg tech was in the Delta Flyer, but it wasn't ever going to be Borgable. It wasn't that good. It was just better. So what if part of the bad side of the Borg, of the Romulans thing, is what if they, having captured the cube, they made a technological jump by learning Borg secrets, but what if they can't replicate, they can't make Borg tech? It's out of the technological ability. What if the only way to actually get components is by actually ripping them off drones? And therefore, that's why the light side of it is that, yes, we're trying to free these drones. All X drones come here, and they do get components out okay, but some components can't be removed without killing them, and those are the people that they pull aside, don't tell everyone else about, and just kill them and just take the parts, because they can't replicate them, and they need to have these ships, they need to have this stuff, oh, you need an isolated converter, Borg tech, well, kill that, we've got one drone here that has it, send him to cutting up and we'll pull it out of him. What do you think? Because it kind of limits the idea of it being replicatable, it means that you need to rip it out of their bodies. What do you think?
I really like that. I think that's a very plausible scenario for sure. It also might tie in with TNG, where we see the Borg removing certain components off other drones. Maybe it's maybe components they assimilated and don't have the ability to recreate even themselves, so they need those important components.
Or it's just too annoying. Just
it's
right there.
But yeah, I absolutely like that. If certain drones have elements that can't be removed without killing the drone, I can see the Romulans definitely doing something.
We're saving 1 million. If we have to kill 1,000, okay, and other people would be like, well, no, that's not okay, and that's a good cover, isn't it? We're a reclamation plant trying to help people, but actually we're trying to get all this tech, and that could explain why the Romans are more of a threat. Maybe that's why, that's partially what the special forces guys are using. The Borg tech, part of their armor is that sort of technology, and it's so limited. What do you guys think?
Well, Nerd Panic says, why don't you guys ever level your audio? Samuel can barely be heard. Stuart is super loud. Well, Nerd Panic, we level our audio at the beginning of every live because Skype and OBS sometimes don't get along and they change audio levels. So,
and currently Stuart is at minus 92.8. I'm at minus 4, which is nearly the end of the barrier, and my audio is currently spiking in the yellow, and I can't even see your audio. So,
wow.
So currently we're limiting hugely, and according to this, I'm ruining my audio. But I mean, I tested a minute ago, we're roughly the same.
And the answer... Yeah, and other people are saying the audio is fine for them, so sorry about that. But while we're here, though, 220 some odd people here. That is fantastic. You guys are awesome. By all means, make sure you click the like button. Even if you don't like, just hit the like button. It just helps the video. It helps the channel. So, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I tweaked it even further, but,
Yeah, well.
So now you're at minus 94, I'm at minus 0.1. And I'm right in the red. It is weird. So, I mean, what do you guys think about the idea of the tech? Because that means that you can't just upgrade in tech. You've got to, and it means every ship you lose is a risky thing. Every ship you send into a battle, if you lose it, you've just lost all the Borg tech as part of it.
Yeah. That's interesting, though. Like, I really think that might be a thing, that some Borg technologies, because of all the species they've assimilated, can't be. And if it's needed for whatever the Romulans or whatever are doing, as far as experimentation goes, I can absolutely see them ripping it out of a drone. Drone be damned. Oh, this one died. Oh, I don't know why. Oh. Or this one went missing.
Exactly. I mean, especially if you're encouraging all the people to come in. Yeah, we'll save you all.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Dahj could think she's doing, or not Soji, sorry, but that, because we do see him being cut up, and that could be an explanation as to who Seven is, screaming after, because, there were some Borg that couldn't take it on the outside, because I know that in films and TV, sometimes veterans can't rehabilitate the outside world, and sometimes they like find little sets of their own veteran friends, and they hang out in very specific situations because they can't do normal things anymore because they've lived in bad situations. So a lot of ex-veterans become police because at least it's kind of So I can see, and I know that Seven, I read one of the bio things, which didn't give a lot away, but it said Seven's not been in Starfleet for ages. Well, I guess she was never in Starfleet, so that's not, she didn't get her commission. Okay, fine, that there's a sense of as there would be against Borg drones. I mean, did a lot of harm, and it's hard to, it's like I'm sure British people still hated Nazi ground troops, even if it was the Hitler that did it. It's like, yeah, but that soldier still killed my dad with a bullet that he fired. Yes, Hitler ordered it, but I mean, that guy still did it. So, I mean, you can't not be a little bit pissed off at the person who pulled the trigger. So each drone is still responsible in their own way. And I think part of the plotline is going to be that ex-drones want to be, can you ever go home again? If you were a human and you can only move, say, 80%, you walk back into your town and you're ex-Borg, and it's like everyone in this town has lost 5 people to the Borg. I mean, can you really rehabilitate? And you need, like, a different form of electricity, because, I mean, what if everyone needs to be powered like 7? I mean, that would be logical, or at least a lot of them. So now you can't live, like, you can't go for dinner with people, you can't do the same situation anymore. And then they were like, well, I tried to live on Earth for 5 years. I just got prejudiced because the Borg killed a lot of people. So I hear about this Romulans.
Well,
I'll jump in. Right, go on.
I was just going to say, like with Seven living on Earth, I'm wondering if Hugh perhaps seeks her out specifically and talks to her, and then she goes to Picard because she gets wind from somebody at Starfleet that. And maybe that's. Did you miss any of that? Because I
did. I missed all of it. I'm sorry. Sorry. Just
okay. So maybe Hugh seeks her out, and because she hears that Picard is perhaps looking for a way to get to this reclamation site. She goes to see Picard on Hugh's behalf, or something. But like I said, I don't expect her to be in episode 2. I think it's a little too early for that. Maybe episode 3. That's what I'm kind of counting on right now. That's what I'll put my money on.
Because we know Hugh comes in first, and then 7 does. But 7 is the chateau, so I'm guessing we're going to see Hugh next week, and then 7. Just based on that.
I didn't know Hugh came first.
Well, he said it at Vegas. You just forgot it. Probably. Yeah, we listened to it together. I sat next to you. No, I sat in front of you because of the mix-up. Anyway, so Romulans, right? Even though none of it makes sense exactly, they're displaced, they feel displaced. You can imagine that an ex-drone and a Romulan, the ex-drone might sympathise with the Romulans. That if the Romulans then said, hey, we found a Borg cube, what? And we're turning it into an ex-Borg like sanctuary, reclamation facility, whatever, and they put out the call saying, any ex-drone, if you want to hang out here with your own ex-kind. So I think, we thought it was a prison, I think it's now, based on the other clips we've seen about they're wearing non-prison clothes that clearly, Soji isn't a prisoner. She's, so therefore those shots where it's like, oh, it's prison garb. No, it's not. So now I think it's literally a Borg across the galaxy or across our quadrant. A lot of them didn't find a place to belong. And the Romulans offered a place where they could be themselves and with people who understood. PTSD victims, as it were. And so...
Everybody knows your name.
Yes. Yeah, and if you have one mind, you'll know your thoughts. And then they get them of their own volition, because, again, people feel sympathy for Romulans because they've just lost their homeworld a few years ago, and they're refugees. So that's a wonderful sympathy. So a certain Romulan sets it up, and then they come and live there. And Hugh is there because he's, like, one of the leaders of that side, and he's fighting for he fights for the rights of ex-Borg, which is why we see him first, because he's going to be on the cube, and then he's going to search out Picard, I think, because even if they do like a hollow call, because he says he talks to him in a room, so that'll be a thing maybe. And I think based on some of the, we see Hugh, we see Soji, Jesus, and Picard running through a hallway, and then we just cut to that, which is a ridiculously odd shot considering what we now know. Like, it's so disconnected, but we've seen it for ages. So I think we're going to get Picard going to the cube like really quickly, because I think these are almost all like red herrings. Because since when do you show the big bad Borg cube in episode 1? Since when do you show it in the trailer? Since when do you show all these important things? Unless that's not the real plot. And so here they are. I mean that. Well, so I'm going to guess this is going to be maybe episode 5, maybe 4 or 5. It gets the cubes quickly.
I've heard rumors that a lot of what we saw in the trailers is in the first 3 episodes. So there might be a lot more that we don't know.
I mean, that would make sense with all the setup stuff. I think that's very likely anyway. It's wondering how much the Borg cube stuff is going to be from that.
And considering they knew they were going to show episodes 1 through 3 at the premiere, I think maybe to keep the rest of it kind of under wraps. So I think we're going to see a lot of what happens in those trailers in the first 3 episodes. But
and also, it's probably like it's a self-contained story in a sense, and it was almost done. Make a trailer based on the first couple, kind of makes sense. But it's good. I mean, it's exciting if we get to the point of episode 5, and it's like, wow, I mean, if the plot developments of episode 1, the speed and density of such, is the same for the next 4, I mean, we could very much see by episode 7 they're in the mirror universe. They're in the past mirror universe with,
Jeez.
you know,
No.
with William Riker, and it's like, oh my god, Hammer, you know, and you know, look at Discovery season 1 trailer. It just showed stuff from the first 2 episodes. Discovery season 2 trailer, bit more around, but didn't show anything important. So they're good at cutting trailers, and again, it's not done yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if if this Hugh thing is literally like episode 4. Like, they get to the cube by episode 4, and once they get... Because what if... the story's probably about Data more than about the Borg. The Borg are kind of like part of the puzzle. But I think the final end of story will be to find Data's... wherever his mental state is, somewhere in the galaxy. And the Borg is just part of that equation. And you know, blah, blah, blah. And I think like just this sequence where they're fighting the Romulans, but I think they'll just be trying to get into Romulan territory, and by episode 3, you know, like literally just do a straight line to the cube because Hugh knows where it is, and they're summoning him, or Seven does because she goes right to the chateau. Because it makes sense that they would know the cube exists if they're these, you know, freedom fighter people and trying to be supportive, and you know, and like I said, they were so direct in episode 1 with information, like so direct. It's like I can imagine just Jerry Ryan show up saying, "What are you still doing here, Picard? Why aren't you at the Borg reclamation facility?" What? Oh, it's these coordinates. Oh, great. Okay. Good to meet you finally, which annoyed me in their bio. They'd never met Picard before. Come on, it's been 20 years. They would have met her. Stupid.
Oh. He wouldn't, of course, know who she is, so...
Yeah.
But
ex-Borg would meet ex-Borg, surely, Stuart. You'd at least ask her to have lunch with you one time, because you're both ex-Borg.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, come on. That's a stupid, stupid thing.
I am the cutest of Borg. Will you have lunch with me? Jarzia...
Wow,
throws in
that
$5.
deserves a super chat. Come on, that was absolutely epic. Come on, guys, that deserves a $5 from at least 3 of you. Jesus.
Jarzia puts in $5. Real talk, the Federation has lost probably less than 50,000 people to the Borg between ships and colonies. Borg victims is a tiny club in the Federation. Less than 50,000. I don't know about that. Because you got all the colonies that were scooped up. You've got...
People forget that. Season 1, there was a lot of colonies. And each one, I'm sure more than one, had more than 50,000 people on.
Yeah. And then all the ships. And, yeah, I mean, we see humans in the Delta Quadrant. So, I mean, they scatter the humans around pretty good. But yeah, guys, only 4 super chats and only 2 people that have super chatted. Guys, if
really,
you can...
Stuart? That's shocking.
Yeah. It is, especially with 270 people here. Wow. But guys, we want to hear your thoughts about episode 2. What do you think happens? What are your predictions? Do you think we're going to see 709 next? I mean, like, is she going to be in the next episode, or is she going to be episode 3? I mean, let us know your thoughts. And it really helps out the channel as well to do the super chats. So.
And Matthew DeFreitas, who's a regular, says, "It'd be so cool if when Picard arrives on the Borg cube, he has PTSD again, sees the Borg Queen. Not saying PTSD is cool, but saying the connection between the movies and TV show would be cool." Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I would be down for that.
I mean, as we said before, one of the nice things about Aliens, like Armin Shimon put on the actual Quark makeup again, Destination, a year and a half or 2 years ago, and when actually done by the real person in the real costume, he looked the same. Because his latex, it gets degraded but doesn't get old. And so Alice Krieg, put her in the makeup, she will look the same. Same with Michael Dorn. He will look the same. Because that's most of his face. Data's harder, it's human face, whatever. That's why we said put Worf in straight away. Because the payoff of getting a Worf is infinitely more than getting a...
Oh, we kind of got a Worf. We got a little glimpse of
age a day, yes.
Exactly. Canadian Starship says, "I'll hand you a physical super chat at Wonderfest, no fees." All right, I'll hold you to that. And Starmax puts in $2 with no comment, but thank you very much, appreciated.
Thank you.
Riv Law I Band Rock T YouTube puts in €20. So thank you very much.
Thanks, sir.
unrelated, I feel Picard's reason for leaving Starfleet is cheap. How do you like my pitch? B4 became Data, like in the comics. Androids attacked. Androids became illegal. Federation deactivated Data before Picard quits. What do you think? I think it would have been widely known had Data's memories actually worked on B4. I think that would have been a pretty known thing. So I don't know if they could hide that necessarily. But I do like that if he did become like in the comics, the Countdown comics, where he actually became Data again, and then he got basically disassembled because of the synth attack. Yeah, I can see that pissing off Picard enough to leave Starfleet, but he would have said that by now, unfortunately. That's something that wouldn't be shushed.
The problem with, Picard lost his entire crew in the start, where he lost Jack Crusher, he lost his Stargazer crew, lost the Stargazer, lots of people died at Viridian 6 in the crash. Like, he's lost lots of people on his command. And he lost, losing his own brother, and didn't make him leave Starfleet.
And nephew, yeah.
And nephew.
Well,
So, yes, he's friends with Data, but I don't buy that just because of that. Like, he's a trained military veteran in a sense, with decades of experience, leading thousands of people, and so even having it on the Data idea, being so fixated, feels almost disingenuous. They don't understand that, yes, they were close, but he wasn't, his best ever friend ever. They didn't spend every day together. Whereas if it was Geordi and Data, then Geordi might go to the ends of the earth to save him. That would be much more close. Or Picard and Spock, because they've said they've been best friends for years and years, and he does go to the ends of the earth. Now, so when you say about B4 being decommissioned, like, Picard has more power in Starfleet. I don't think he would leave Starfleet just because they killed Data. It's too small a thing. That's throwing your career away just for that. That's why I think when I said last time that it's a multi-pronged thing, that I think Picard actively promoted the idea of the synthetics, and so when they attacked the fleet and killed the people, his voice was the main one saying you should build them, and then he's responsible for now his action or his support led to the destruction of the fleet, which then led to the 900 million Romulans. So now he's got a world on his consciousness, and the synths might have done more harm, and all these people, and maybe stopping the Data from existing, and other things. That, I think, is a bit more of a reason to say because Patrick, or I think the producer, said that he bluffs Starfleet. He says, make another fleet or I'll leave, and they say fine, and he says fine, and they leave. So it wasn't even intentional leaving in the same way. It was a bluff, and a bluff's only good, a threat's only good if you can pay off the threat. But that much of blame, the only thing that'd be comparable is if, like, the Thalaron cannon did attack Earth because he didn't shoot the beam, but it only killed India, only killed Russia. Then that's like oh my god, I kill those people. But So I think that level of chaos is enough, but not just Data, even though we all love Data and such.
I kind of agree with you.
It's a hard one.
It is hard. It's yeah.
But you see where I'm going, at least.
Yes. Super Coops, though, puts in £2. Just because. Keep up the great work, guys. Well, thank you, Super Coops. Much appreciated. And Robert Nix puts in $3. Allison Pill is a fug. Agree? Who's Allison Pill?
The lady on the screen.
Oh, and what's a fug?
Fugly.
She's not Dahj or Soji hot, but
not my type. But apart from that,
not my type either. So maybe.
I'm seeing. Essentially, apparently there's a commercial for Walmart last year. Someone just posted on a group, and because Disco Prize coming out of Warp, and the Guardians of the Galaxy ship and other things. That's weird.
Wow, totally off topic.
Well, yeah, I've never seen that before. It's cool.
Rolly, 2001 puts in $10 Australian.
Hey.
Out of all the characters across TNG, DS9, and Voyager, who would you like to see return in more than just a cameo?
Well, no cameos, please. Real parts for everyone.
Yeah, all of them. I mean, that's a cop out, but any of them would definitely be welcome. I'd love to see the Forge.
Yeah, seriously.
Um,
Well, we've said before that, and this was actually my pitch originally, that if you bring a legacy character back, have them be integral to that part of the plot. So Riker is the one that convinces Picard to do something, and okay, Troy's there because she has to be, but we all want her there, and Seven's integral to the plot, and so is Hugh. That's great. Same with Guinan, make her an integral part. So Captain Kim, obviously, give him that payoff.
Yeah, please.
I mean, instantly done. Captain Kim.
Have him be Lieutenant Kim at least.
No, Vice Admiral Kim. Yeah, he outranked Picard by the end of his career.
Or President of the Federation, or Commandant of Starfleet, or something.
Chief of Starfleet Command. Yeah, that'd be great. And then so it cuts to a scene of him like congratulating Admiral Janeway on her new promotion to Vice Admiral, and it turns it's Kim as Commodore of all Federation, and then he wakes up and you see him on the bridge of the ship. So what? Captain Kim, are you there? Yes, Admiral Janeway. Yeah. Anyway, that's the Voyager movie. No, because you can definitely see Captain Kim like being the like in Star Trek Renegades, the Archer, the captain of the Archer. Someone sent to stop him or whatever. That's a perfect choice. And that gives him a reason to be there. LaForge, obviously, if we're seeing if the new Countdown comic is canon, then you can count on LaForge. Because I think seeing flashbacks to that, if that's meant to be real, then seeing LaForge, he might be in this season or next season if it still continues the plot. That would make a lot of sense if he's important. And he's still got the visor, so they don't have to build a shitty replacement and mess it up. Anyone else that's specific? Dax could be good, Ezri, because she's a genuine science ability. I mean, obviously, EMH, Doctor, or Zimmerman, but that's we already know that's going to happen in some form. Tuvok, I mean, just like Renegades, because he's, again, easier to not age as much. You just dye his hair to make sure it's jet black and give him ears, and there you go. He still looks great. Just give him the full makeup. Captain Tuvok or head of Staff Security, I mean, perfect. Which on Renegades, he slips into the character instantly, He's great in that.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of people we'd love to see back, for sure.
All of them. That's the sad thing. Every single one. Even Emmy Wildman. I mean, seriously, people like that. Icheb. I mean, these smaller characters.
Icheb should be back, for sure.
Manu. Especially the Borg connection, are you kidding?
Yep.
It writes itself, Stuart.
It does.
But wouldn't you be pissed off if that's who Seven's cradling? Dead Icheb. It's like they killed people in the new Star Wars films because screw them. And it's like the first scene, they run to the Borg cube, and Icheb's, Manu, you've came back to be dead on a slab. And she's like, no, Icheb! And Manu's like, I was in Star Trek again, guys. They killed me, and I got paid $50,000 to be killed. It sucks, but it pays my new car. It's like, great.
Zeraxis puts in $5.
Hey, man.
My bet is on a speech towards the Admiral in Episode 2, and perhaps an approved but covert mission for Picard, hence the off-brand ship with the misfit crew. There's going to be a speech for sure. I can promise you that. But a covert mission approved by Starfleet? No. I think they're going to downright just tell them to piss off.
Yep.
And it makes you wonder, though, if the reason that nobody reported anything and he ended up back in his chateau after the attack was because Starfleet's covering things up. Starfleet's got some skin in this game, and they knew what was going on. That's why the roof was clear. That's why there was no
alarm for the pew-pews.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah, I think he's going to be flat out denied by Starfleet and have to do this on his own.
Yeah, you're so on point there. We don't need Section 31 to be bad in this. It's just going to be complicity. Like in Star Trek 6, the Federation worked with the Klingons to undermine the peace process. Similar thing, it's for the greater good. We need this Borg tech too. We need the Borg survivors to eventually be all killed, whatever, I don't know. That greater good. And if this entire thing is an allegory for modern era and how bad the countries have gotten that have Starfleet be implicit or whichever one complicit, even if they're not actively helping, because I mean it's even hard to think that the Romulans could seamlessly beam people in and out of Earth. Like they're beaming from a ship, and you can't beam from a cloaked ship. So I mean, yes, they could fly civilian freighter in. There are obviously ways of doing it, but or they just let them.
It's also 20 years advanced tech. We don't know what they're exactly capable of. It could be long-range beaming from, like, I don't know. Just thinking of something.
Spock's Scotty designed transport beaming, and that was like 10 years ago. So really, we can see James Doohan. DHG James Doohan.
He's dead.
CGI James Doohan.
There you
or
go.
just Chris Doohan CGI'd to look like James Doohan.
Oh, yeah.
And a fat suit. And a moustache.
Star Max.
You want me to kill the Borg, laddie? This ain't no Starfleet A, B, C, or D.
Star Max puts in $5. And all human life on Mars being killed and the world being on fire for 20-ish years, was Geordi killed off at Utopia for shipyards?
No.
Very unlikely. In the comics, he was there supervising things, but the possibility exists that, yes, he did die. I don't think they're going to do that, though, because you got a perfect character you can bring back whenever you need. LeVar Burton is still, healthy. He's young enough to act. Why not?
He just has some wrinkles here and white hair. That's it.
Yeah. Why not bring that character back? So I don't think they will kill off Geordi. So. No.
I mean, do they really think killing our legacy characters is going to get them points? No. Why would that get them points?
I've heard a rumor, too, that in episode 9, it's going to get announced that Beverly is actually dead and she died off screen.
And how bad would that be? Awful.
That's awful, yeah. She was at all of the premieres, pretty much. We've seen her and LaForge, or LeVar Burton, with Patrick Stewart at the premieres and things. So, makes me think that they're both going to be in it. But, what do I know?
You just don't kill those characters. I mean, let them live their lives.
Yeah.
Just have their story be ended, but don't kill them. It's like the J.J. Abrams. He got to kill... J.J. Abrams, that man, got to kill Han Solo and Leia Organa Solo. That one man. They lived for 40 years, and he got to kill them both.
Yep. It's a great legacy, man.
Yeah. Oh, and he killed Spock.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, yeah.
Basically. And he did kill Pike. But also Pike.
Tucker Live Radio puts in $5 Canadian. Great channel, guys. Well, thank you very much. Make sure you're subscribed, because we always got great stuff like this to talk about. We have 292 people here. That is incredible, guys. We worked to 300 at one point. So everybody hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And if you want to have your voice heard and your thing read, by all means, throw in a super chat. Riv La Iband Rock T YouTube. Such an interesting name. €10. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Would have liked it more
if
they would deactivate
went
data.
Away again. Not saying. Oh, sorry. Why is it always the super chat time, Stuart? Why do they always happen to super chats?
I don't know. Anyway, not saying that this is how it is, but would have liked it more. If they would deactivate data, it would be like ignoring his rights as a sentient being, racist thing, which would violate what Federation should be. Well, we've already got that essentially when the reporter said, a lot of people have had issues with us helping our greatest enemy, our longest enemy. It was only Romulan lives. No, lives. So they already got that racism built in, unfortunately. So that's going to play a part regardless. But yeah, if after the trial of Measure of a Man, if they did take away Data's rights, absolutely, I could see Picard being pissed about that because, you know.
Although, as I said, as I think we both agreed earlier on, that we think that Maddox probably took Data's memories and such, and he might have taken a copy and then either corrupted B4 or let B4 get corrupted because of what was happening, what did happen, whatever, and sort of faked Data's death in a sense. Oh no, the memory's degraded.
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't safe.
That's what I thought.
See, she agrees.
And they're right back. Fleetpaw Swiftback puts in $1.99. 154 likes and 300 watching. We can hit 200. Hashtag make me pay. Easily we can hit 200 with 282 people watching. Guys, everybody hit the like button right now. Just take a second. I'm going to give you a like. Dun, 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 dun. Click. Dun, dun, dun. All right, cool. 200. All right, so there. Hit. Still hit like, though, if you haven't. Zeraxis, $5. It'll be interesting to see how closely the Romulans and Starfleet are working together in the series. Also, we must get a CGI Pulaski cameo. Now, it's funny you mentioned that, because last night I said to Sylvia, it would be really interesting to have Pulaski come back, considering her relationship with Data and kind of the weird relationship she had with Picard. She's still alive. It'd be neat. I'm not a Pulaski fan, as you guys know, but with me saying that it'd be cool to have Pulaski back, I mean, I think it'd be cool to have Pulaski back, because normally I would just say no. But that would be a nice surprise cameo, and a cameo for her is fine. She's quite old now, and you know, just a cameo of Pulaski I think would be kind of cool.
And Thribis says the actress has long since retired, but she still does Trek conventions.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So have Pulaski come back just for something. You know, I think that'll be interesting. Whew.
I mean, she's only 81.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. I thought she was older than that, to be honest.
Yeah. But guys, just to, hopefully you guys know that we release a lot of content in the last week for you guys, delving into a lot of different topics, because obviously we do these long form discussions, and most of you obviously aren't going to watch 3 hours, and we might discuss it all, but not in depth. And so we love doing 10 to 20 minute bits, fully edited, with graphics, with comparisons, you know, so they're nice, condensed. And just as we're at the end of the week, pretty much, I want to go through some videos that if you guys would like to go back and watch, they are all live on the channel right now to go back and watch. So we did obviously the Picard, Stuart's first reaction, which is a unique take, just him by himself. Our spoiler-free review, our spoiler-full review, which is fully graphicked and such, of episode 1, our full 3-hour scene-by-scene, our first look at Data makeup, our second look at Data makeup with comparing it to an actual behind-the-scenes picture released, which is really interesting to see what they did and didn't fix. The first look at the new Romulan ship with cleverly resized renders, you'll see. The new Romulan disruptor rifle, first look. The 2399 Federation ships, the rescue fleets that we saw in the this season on, which we can talk about today if you guys want, but that's a video. 12,000 views already. Go look. The LCARs, Federation LCARs, that as well. A little theory about how the Discovery and Picard are linked. Again, a video on that. Live on Dahj character herself, which went off the rails a little bit, but in a good way. A teeny theory of how all might be a hallucination, but actually many people agreed in the comments. That was, a lot of people thought the same thing. And also, today, why did Dahj take Picard to the roof? And I said, to that roof. You know which roof. Or there's someone commented saying, it's not a roof, there are stairs to the next floor.
Oh my god.
I mean, a roof can have multiple levels.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, it's a roof to the building that you're on, and then you go to the next level of the next roof.
What he's saying, guys, is we have a lot of sub videos come out, so make sure you're subscribed.
And almost the most interesting one is, are holograms considered synthetics? Which no one's I've heard really talk about. And that came out 3 hours ago.
Yes.
So guys, do take
go watch. And Jarzia puts in $2. In Endgame, you hear Pulaski's name at Starfleet Medical. Very cool.
Did you?
And Jarzia also said that he sent a PayPal. I got it here. $5 PayPal. So thank you very much, Jarzia. That's another way you can help us out as well, guys, is a PayPal. He says, well, Wolf 359 was Sector 11, was 11K, Sector 001, 11,000. Probably another 7,000 or so, and I'll grant those colonies and outposts might account for 1 million or 2. But with well over 1 trillion people in the Federation per DS9 statistical probabilities, that's a tiny number. I just don't see the Borg hate being a thing for most people. Fear, sure, but it's but it's be 1 in a million people who lost someone they know to the Borg, and they would see X drones as their only hope of seeing their assimilated loved ones again. So I don't buy Borg hate. Inside Man on Voyager even suggested Seven was an inspiration to people who had lost people to the Borg. Interesting take on it, Jared. Yeah. I still think there would be, like, that's the problem though, when you have something like the Borg, there's a lot of propaganda. Like you said, the fear would be a thing for sure. Propaganda, whisperings, basically just half truth and stuff being spread about them. So I could see there being fear in that regard, and which essentially leads to hate. Essentially, not doing the Star Wars thing. Fear leads to hate, that kind of thing. But it's true. Propaganda breeds fear and intolerance, and it's all word of mouth. It's all, and unfortunately, we don't have the utopian Star Trek future anymore. We have xenophobic, racist Federation.
And that links into even the idea of everyone being prejudiced is kind of, so the fact that people seem to hate Romulans, which seems to me personally, the hate of Romulans seems more far-fetched than the hate of Borg. Because they were refugees. I mean, maybe they've come and been terrorists on Earth. We don't know the story. But yes, humans fought a war with Romulans 200 years ago. Okay, but the Borg killed your dad. So there's a massive generational thing. So, yet there's hate for Romulans for some reason. But the Borg it's a risk. It's a threat. I can imagine some xenophobes saying, well, we can't let, if one Borg is left alive in the Alpha Quadrant, it can assimilate, replicate. I mean, the power of one Borg is immeasurable.
See, and Borg breed fear. Romulans, as you said, breed distrust. It's two different fears, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Borg are a non-threat at this point, though.
Well, I'm hoping that we get a sense that they did stir from the Delta Quadrant. It'd be interesting if that cube was another attack that happened. Maybe they attacked the Romulan Star Empire at one point. Or the Borg were clever and they started attacking suns to create supernovas. That was their new plan, because whereas one cube isn't enough. Whereas if you fly a cube into a supernova or a sun, it blows up. But you're right about
transwarp corridor. Transwarp corridor or something into a sun. I mean,
yeah, you could blow up the top of the ocean at that point. But it's true. I mean, the amount of people that killed by the Borg is nothing better than those killed by the Dominion. I mean, how many ships got destroyed? Most of them. not really big. I mean, a larger percentage of ships. Wolf 359 was big, but fleets got destroyed. Fleets and fleets and fleets. 3-year war or 2-day or 3-day battle. And they're bigger ships as well because they're evolved in time. And when the Dominion when the Breen bombed San Francisco, how many people died then? Lots. How many colonies? Whatever. So I'm sure more people died at the Dominion, and they represented a more actual threat in the practical sense of our galaxy or whatever, whereas the Borg was just like they came from the unknown. So I imagine maybe something else happened in between, because they might, the ex-Borg, who's to say that, because I said this to you so many times, but there is definitely cubes, spheres, triangles, diamonds, probes in the Alpha Quadrant all the time, just doing things. If you can transwarp in and out, they're just doing mini missions all the time, because no part of the galaxy is a challenge to get to. So if there were 10 Borg cubes in the Alpha Quadrant, the transwarp network is destroyed. Now they're stuck, and they're still 50 years away from Earth, and they're now maybe it was the transwarp hubs that helped spread the Borg signal, because they could spread the signal through transwarp. Maybe that was the key. And so imagine if you had 10 cubes, all of which have lost the collective, and now they're sort of rogue in the sense, just like Hugh, but one becomes the one that takes control, and now you have cubes that just want to control, or kill and destroy and whatever. And so what if then, after you destroy the Borg in the Delta Quadrant, what if 3 cubes go on rampages? And now you have this scourge of attacking, and now the Borg are not interested in assimilation, they're also just killing. Like the rogue Borg were. And now there might be an event that happened in between that made them a tangible threat to everyone. We sent our best ships, they were destroyed, because the cube is still more threatening than a Dominion battleship. So I can see that there'd be something else, maybe that whatever Borg were left did some bad things. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of disagree.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
About which bit?
About the Borg going rogue essentially at the end and just killing people. I think they would still maintain that level of wanting to assimilate. So I'm sure there's something that's happened. We just need to find out what it is. In the that's happened in the meantime, these 20 years. So, because I don't think the Borg are a threat anymore. I really don't. I think they're just.
Yeah, I'm more just referencing, like, if there's 10 cubes, then all it takes is one. I mean, I'm saying that the unthinkable happened. Romulus was destroyed. No, the unthinkable happened. One cube, somehow someone took over, and went, insane. Not everyone, just little bits.
Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Said I'd pay at 200, so here you go again at 250. Guys, let's get to 250. And Zeraxis as well put in $5. Thank you very much, Zeraxis. 200 years is already on the longer side of people actually caring about past conflicts. I don't see the Federation caring that much without propaganda. Well, I was just kind of talking about propaganda. Propaganda is a lot of times isn't as overt as people think. Just the rumor mill, just not knowing enough about a species or whatever, not knowing the intricacies, generates a lot of discussion, hearsay, and that itself breeds fear. So I don't know if there is still propaganda about the Romulans or the Borg necessarily.
Well, that's why we also think that when we say Starfleet is betraying itself, that they're spreading, they're helping to spread things. If Starfleet says, "Oh, the Romulans are viciously attacking ships on their borders," and that's the news, even though in context they went through the Romulan border and they dared them to attack them. I mean, you can turn any fight into a vicious-sounding war.
Yeah.
The ruthless Romulan. What does Stowe call it? The Romulan resurgency, some sort of.
Oh, resurgence, yeah.
Yeah, so the new Romulan, the new Republic, as it were. Like I said, I think we're being misguided here in who and what's happening. I think there's another plot here that we're just not seeing yet, because obviously, how can we with no context? And I could see they know they're getting a season 2. They knew they were getting a season 2 basically before they were finished. So I'm sure season 1's going to end on an epic cliffhanger. This is not going to be end of season. It's going to be an epic cliffhanger. Maybe Borg Queen shows up. Maybe
it's going to be happens. It's going to be end of season for season 1 arc, but then it's going to lead into a season 2 arc. I think each season is going to be kind of a self-contained thing. It will be my guess.
Well, that's why I think the story is not what we think. I think the story that we're seeing, the Borg thing, that's going to be the season 1 arc. But the thing that's really behind it, the Data arc, that's going to be the multi-year, because they said it's a 3 or 4 year story.
Possibly, yeah.
So they said that's part of what he commissioned for. So it's like that's the arc over the top. But which bit is the overarching? Which is the small? Which is the sub-season? Which that what is going to get cliffhangered? Like I said, I'm sure
I'm gonna call it right now. Q's coming back at the end of the season. It's going to be a Q cliffhanger.
A Q hanger. You're about to make that joke as well. I can tell you. That was going to go through the brain.
It was in there.
I mean, that's the thing. You prove you can do it in season 1. Don't hang the MacGuffin of look it's Q, look it's Borg Queen. Unless it's super clever to the plot, then in season 2 you can have more fun with it. Like Discovery really was. But if you start from a stronger place, having Seven is a good choice. Having Hugh, these are good solid choices. Yeah. And then in season 2, Riker can get back in uniform. Riker can say I'm stopping my paternity leave and I'm calling back up the Titan, Commander Crusher of the Titan. Hi, Commander Crusher of the Titan. I love the beard. I grew it to mimic you, sir. Great. Tuvok, you here? Yeah. Yes, sir. Get that crew that's been alluded to, and then now you can have the Titan. That's the sort of season 2 payoff. Because boy, if they say Riker's retired, I'm gonna fucking punch a wall. People have very long careers in Trek. You don't retire at 60.
Again, I think he left when Picard did as a, to show Picard some support in that regard.
Yeah, he hasn't spoken to Picard in 20 years, because Picard says they've said in interviews that Picard hasn't talked to his crew in over a decade.
I'm just saying. I think that's one of the reasons Riker would leave. If Picard leaves, if something is wrong enough with Starfleet that Picard's willing to give up his career, then there's something to perk your ears up at and pay attention to. And I think Riker would be one of those men that'd be like, okay, ground in that regard. So I'm gonna follow suit with him. Bye, guys. I think that's kind of what's going to be the case as far as Riker's departure from Starfleet.
It's just throwing away everything. Throwing your entire... I know he's got his family. That's really important. Brilliant. But throwing away your entire career, is it...
Yeah. Well, Eugene throws in 2,000 rubles.
Ooh!
Thank you very much.
You went big.
That's awesome. My guess is Picard will spend the entire episode on Earth. Absolutely, I agree. Dealing with Starfleet stonewalling, or even saying nothing happened on the roof.
Yep.
I can see both those things. In the meantime, fake villain and secret main villain will be introduced.
Okay.
One of them being some kind of Boris J. Takuvma.
Aww. That's good. That's a good joke like that.
Yeah, well, they're going to also... Another thing, prediction for me from episode 2 is going to be the build-up of characters, or the build-up of the relationship between this Romulan Rennick, whatever the hell his name is, and Soji.
Yep.
That's going to be a big part of episode 2, unfortunately.
And we're going to see Hugh. It's going to see Hugh, and it's going to be no big deal. It's like, oh, hello, Hugh. How you doing today? I'm doing fine, Dr. Soji. Well, good. Yeah. Episode 2 will be about Starfleet stonewalling, leading to him talking to his ex-crew member at the end. Episode 3, I think, will have Riker and Troy. He goes to them at the start to say, shall I really do this? And I think in episode 3 also his house is going to get... So I think episode 2 is going to be Starfleet, his friend, cut to Hugh, cut to the Borg stuff. That's that plot. And also talks to his own Romulan friends and tries to decide. Episode 3 is going to be Chateau gets attacked by Romulans because now they know where he is, that he's involved. Talk to Riker and Troy, get their thoughts, maybe even get their connection, and Seven's going to appear. And then all those things put together will then jumpstart him out. Episode 4, we're going to get the shooting with the Romulan ship, and then we'll get the surprise plot. Episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 will be the cliffhanger.
Yeah. Jacob Tinknell says, hey, Captain Foley, what time is your first reaction tomorrow? I am going to say probably around 10:30, same time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just it gives the people in Canada that see it on Sci-Fi the chance to see it, have a half hour to digest it.
Yeah.
Everybody in America that has CBS All Access obviously has all day to see it. I know the UK is kind of out of that, unfortunately, but I want to strike while the iron's hot. So, yeah, probably 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 10:30 p.m. So, there you go.
Great question. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely the combat going on, him talking to his old friend about going back to whatever, him going to Starfleet, talking to maybe Admiral Shelby. People have been speculating it's Shelby from Best of Both Worlds. I love the idea of Starfleet denying anything happening on the rooftop, because I think that's going to be a thing. There's no security footage. There was no reason to ask you questions. You weren't that badly injured, so we just sent you home. Bullshit. There's going to be that, and there's going to be the disappointment of Picard being sent out, essentially, into the cold by himself. And he's going to need some kind of way to get a ship. And that's why it's probably going to end with him arriving at Rikers or something. And so it's going to be the holdover till episode 3. So that's kind of what I have idea for at least Picard's character for episode 2. And of course a lot of Soji and this other Romulan guy.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna escalate that quite quickly, I think. So we need to actually give them a norm before they can,
Yeah.
Because like I said, we see them all running together in a hallway, and that's not. I don't think it's gonna take I doubt they'd show us that clip several times from episode 9. Like that would be too much of a. You're waiting for it to happen. So that's gonna be like episode 6. It's gonna be at the cube really early.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're going to leave and do stuff. That's going to be important, especially since they've done a lot of interviews with the actress that plays the two characters in Picard, and she says she's learned a lot from him. They've worked together a lot, and now that she's a separate character, removed from him, yes, they spent one episode together, but you know what I mean. They're gonna, if you send one episode together and not 5, then the rest of the 4. It takes a long time, but she's like one of the main characters, so she's got to be. I mean, she was what, in half of the episode 1, a third of it, probably a third of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's already escaped the cube by episode 4, to then have them have a plot together. I would not be surprised at all. She's that important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see the Romulan compound next week, where he gets Legolas?
Oh, yeah, that's going to be episode 3. Okay. That's going to be episode 3, kind of assembling the crew, and they got to go there to get sword fighting guy, and he's got to go into the Romulans only bar because it says Romulans only outside, and he's going to get his ass kicked and put.
His stunt double will get his ass
thrown out by the bouncers who have the Romulan ridges, which is great. Yeah, so that's going to be episode 3. Okay. I think even him going to see his former XO is going to probably be episode 3 as well. If not, it's going to be the end of episode 2, near the end.
I think she'll say no at the start, and something's going to change. I think maybe she'll say no, and then when Chateau Picard gets attacked, she's going to be like, "Oh no, that was real," because he's coming to all these people. If there's no evidence in terms of audio visual that anything's happened, if not even on their own, like, security cameras at his house, if there's no footage of Dahj and no records of Dahj, I mean...
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, the 2 people that are living with him, the Romulans, apparently, I must have missed this, but in the comics, apparently they're former Tal Shiar. Yeah. Are they still working with Tal Shiar? Did they cover
canon,
up?
Stuart, so you can't take it as canon.
I know, but they're still going to be... They can still be in the show that they or been spying on him the whole time. Did they facilitate her escape by erasing the records to make him look crazy? And they didn't know that she left her necklace behind as the only proof, because he still got the necklace to prove that she existed at least.
And they could just hand him a necklace while he's unconscious. You know?
I guess.
Except Sojia's necklace, obviously, but, you know. Oh, there's so many things.
Zeraxis, though, throws in $5. Am I the only one that thinks that 10 episodes is too short to be a season? I think you need 16 episodes, absolute minimum, for a proper show season. If it's written well and continues the pacing that we've seen for episode 1, I think 10 is fine. But I would obviously like more. But I think 10 will be fine for whatever kind of self-contained story they want to do.
I do miss the days of 26 episodes, or 22, or 24.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 is such a letdown. I know they're all bigger budget, but sometimes they feel not a bigger budget. I mean, it's like, would you rather have 1 million more episode or 10 more episodes? 10 more stories, you know? 10 more hours to see the characters. Now,
more character development, yeah, absolutely.
Because also, if they're cheaper episodes, you have to do more just stuff in corridors talking, rather than big action sequences which blow money. Think about how much money could have been saved if they didn't have the Enterprise or the Discovery in season 2 of Discovery tracking the asteroid. Like, how many hundreds of thousands was that sequence costing? That could have been, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that said, the Discovery season 1 model was 44 minutes, but Discovery Season 2 model was better because they could have been 50 minutes, 58 minutes, 44, 38. Like, that was much cooler to see random length. That was story over time. This seems to be time over story. But, that said, if it's 10 episodes, but we get 3 different Star Trek series a year, that's pretty exciting too, with a 2-month, 3-month gap. And then, so quicker production time, because, I mean, they're saying Discovery Season 3 in the summer, and it didn't stop like 1 billion years ago. That's a pretty good turnaround. They weren't rushing it either.
Well, from what I've heard, and from somebody that I talk to on a regular basis, they're finishing filming for Discovery the middle of February, mid-February.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. And then weekly release means you can be less refined on the other edits. And I'm sure they've lowered the budget this year just because it's gone towards get Picard up, which means a smaller, neater show, which is easy to make. Ironically, less money means easier to edit because less effects. You know, because you tend to throw money at effects rather than in the old days it was sets. It was these grand sets that took ages to build. Now it's
Yeah.
grand effects that take ages to build, but they cost a lot.
Well, Surf Trektronics says Trekyards caregivers tell Shi'ar defected to Starfleet. Admiral Picard granted them asylum. Okay, good to know.
Well, let's hope that gets into canon, because it's not canon at the moment.
Yes. And Eugene throws in 200 rubles.
Thank you.
Have you ever discussed Sela? Briefly, we mentioned her. I'm sure she's going to make an appearance, but it won't be season 1. It'll be probably season 2 or 3 at least. Because Denise Crosby kind of let something slip when I was talking to her backstage at London Comic Con, that she was in talks with them. So I would love to see Sela back. I mean, she's been incorporated into Star Trek Online. It would be a perfect thing to have her come in and Picard. But yeah, it'll be season 2 or 3.
And it's beautiful symmetry, because she was, she left season 1, and she's one of the more, Deanna gets a cameo, but Denise Crosby gets an entire season. Like that's a lovely symmetry. She left the show and then came back, and and she's doing good, great, and half Romulan humans can age, no problem there, and she was young at the time, so she obviously looks more balanced now. But yeah, have her be, if Sela's pulling the strings, I mean, there is no leap of logic there, like none. And Sela, personal vendetta against Picard.
I was just going to say that.
Because he sent her mother back, and there's a whole, and he foiled her plans. I mean, that's like very, very no steps, no jumps. And I mean, could you imagine? What if she destroyed Romulus? What if she made the planet go supernova?
I wouldn't put it past her.
She could take power.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her.
Because if you destroy Romulus, destroy it's not so much, she knew they could be evacuated, people could be evacuated, but the symbol of power was gone. And oh look, what a coincidence! She has a planet raring to go and a Senate building pre-built. That's weird. And there's paintings everywhere. Come here, Senate. Under one condition, I own you. I mean, that would be a legitimately. I mean, that's an effing reveal that Sela destroys, and then you double that down. That because of a TNG episode, Romulus gets destroyed, and that you could argue that's a real FU to canon, because that's like them forcing destruction of all this stuff. But that's like, again, very linear, and that's like time got messed up, and Guinan would link to that as well. Maybe she has a little bit of connection with Sela, because Sela's a byproduct from the timeline split, which only she felt. So what if? I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, there is a small connection there. Maybe she gives off a unique property that only Guinan can feel, and I mean that's fun, really fun actually. I could see that being really cool. And bring back Dinatra. She was great.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Lindsay here puts in 2 New Zealand dollars.
Thank you.
And says disrespectful.
Yeah.
It's a good play on words. And Fleet Paw Swiftback puts in $1.99. I'd love Sela to come back. Maybe Empress Sela.
I mean,
easy.
She's such a behind the scenes person though, that I almost want her to be the puppet of a new Senate. Like all of them she controls. Like they're just a figurehead state. That I think would be a clever reveal. And also she can walk through the city and not be noticed. She gets her own life, but also to control everything. Yeah.
Lots of potential there. Lots of potential with Sela.
Yeah. And it's nice because it's a unique. I mean, in terms of selling point to non-fans, it's like saying, you can imagine to the non-Trek fans, dum-dum-dum-dum-dum, we're bringing back a character from Season 1 TNG, back for the first time since TNG Season 6, dum-dum-dum-dum, epic return of an old cast member, way, That's kind of a cool news story, isn't it? Like Whoopi Goldberg, Guinan, it's a nice news story. Guys, but that's using the canon so delicately, and they haven't been known for that.
Exactly.
It's like, for example, I would love to see just a scimitar just decloak at one point. Like, flat out, scimitar class, no changes. Like, that's the, one of the most useful ships in the quadrant to build another one. Like, Sela's personal flagship is just a scimitar Mark II. Like, just that ship's powerful enough. Doesn't need to get much stronger. Like, seriously, and if you take away the Thalaron cannon, because it doesn't need it, really.
No.
It needs, every tip of every gun's, every tip of every wingtip, Stuart, another torpedo launcher.
Yeah,
There you
because
go.
they need more of those.
50 is not enough.
Yeah.
At least triple it. For Admiral Sealer's flagship, yeah. And then can you imagine, you make the same scene from Nemesis, but he's on the Verity now, or whatever, and it's like 172 photon torpedo launchers, 370 disruptor banks, 44 quantum launchers. Not again, god damn it! Oh dear.
And what's and the hood ornament is Data's head.
Oh, yeah.
So so I'm giving kind of my feel of what episode 2 is going to be about. Going to be some good stuff to see for sure.
Yeah. So guys, I think we're going to close out in a few minutes. So guys, put in your final theories, thoughts, and super chats. If we can get $20, as I tend to say, $20, you'd be surprised how much of what we earn $20 is. So 20 more bucks would be great. But I think we're on the same page here, roughly, Stuart. Just depending on which scene we see, which. Yeah, I think my prediction for episode 1 was it'd be the weakest of the season. Now the stage is set, but I don't necessarily want mega slow season. So I hope there's good, strong canon bits. Some of the best bits of episode 1 I thought was the interviewer talk and the talk about data, like the stuff that used the universe. But now Dahj is gone. I mean, surely the talk with this admiral is going to be fiery, and really cool. And I hope when he walks into, because when he walks in Starfleet, I hope when he walks in Starfleet, we're going to see officers. We're going to see a real sense of like not just generic rooms, like a really like Starfleet feel, and maybe walk through a corridor and see paintings of old ships. Like that is their time to make that shine as well. So I really hope we're going to see a lot of that next time.
Yeah. Little subtle references in Starfleet would be nice. Not the big floaty hologrammy things. I mean, that'll be cool too, but,
As long as they show a different ship, not just Disco Prize and the Enterprise D. That would be a real ship.
As I said, man, if they show a TOS Enterprise and then it morphs into the Disco Prize as it's rotating, I'd be like, oh, right, well, that's not too bad. I'll give you a little bit of credit for that. But if it goes from like the NX-01 to the Disco Prize to Enterprise B, I'm going to be like, oh, get fucked. Anyway.
Yeah.
Just show the TOS Connie before the Disco Prize. That's all you have to do. That's it.
Yep.
Small.
It's not rocket science. No,
it's photonic science. Jarzia throws in $5 Canadian. I've got it. Eddington is going to be behind the whole thing. This is his revenge for the Maquis being destroyed. He's dead, you say? Details.
No. Just like
if that's the case, you know that Sisko's going to come back out of the wormhole. If Eddington shows up, Sisko's going to be so pissed. He's going to be like, Phew! Eddington!
Killed you, fool! No. Or it's just like Seska, he's a hologram, but with a mobile emitter. There you go. I'll say it now. Avery will not come back. He'll just flat out say, I just refuse the money. You'll give me 10 million. Don't want to. I want to play my jazz.
Yeah.
A little bit loopy.
It would be great to see Sisko back for sure, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, if Picard becomes the most successful Trek ever and they have like flooding with cash and they're like, Avery, we can give you 240 million. He's like, what? No, 24 million. Oh. But I mean, that's the problem with the hero. Like, seeing another captain, because each captain was the hero of their show.
Yeah. And
we never saw a crossover except in Nemesis, and that was actually Admiral Janeway was a higher rank than Picard. But the way it was played was quite gentle, so it didn't feel like a weird power dynamic. It was just she got promoted, he chose not to be. Like, that was his choice. He could have been Admiral first, he chose not to be. But if you see Janeway in the series or Sisko, I mean, you can even argue that they're better actors in different ways. You could argue if you've got your favourite captain. And especially since Sisko is the prophesized one and now a god, pretty much. Kind of hard for old man Picard to compete against relatively spry, middle-aged, god Sisko. Kind of, you know what I mean? But I keep saying I want to see Admiral Janeway. who was not retired. Stop retiring characters.
Yeah.
Just see them in goddamn uniform. Not rocket science.
Well, she wouldn't retire because Starfleet, kind of left the Romulans hanging. She'd be like, that's something I probably would have done in the Delta Quadrant. Kudos.
I could see Janeway like never retiring, like being like Bones, always wanting to do something cool, like never retiring.
Yeah. Jarzia though throws in $2 Canadian.
Thank you.
Cisco, I've still got some trilithium torps around.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll say final 5 minutes, guys. So it wants to be the final super chat of the day. But a nice chill chat, Stuart. Nice chill. And a couple of big super chats came in, which obviously makes us feel more like, good.
And good numbers. We got up to 300. I mean, that's fantastic for our lives. We love that. We love to see you guys. Keep coming back. We love the discussion. We love having you guys here.
The fact is, we do them for you and because of you. Because you tune in, we want to keep doing them. And we're not here to do it for a vacuum. Our thoughts, our opinions, our predictions, and talk to you guys in the chat. You guys are great.
Well, Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $1.99. Would love to see the Defiant make an appearance.
Oh, God, yes.
What, you mean the Sao Paulo? Oh, wait a minute. It got renamed.
And Defiant Mark II. I mean, come on. All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
And Judge 1981 throws in $20.
Oh.
What a great way to end the live stream. Thank you very much, Judge.
Super.
Sending my Trekyards love, he says.
I do feel loved.
Yes.
I do feel loved.
We love seeing the red colors and the orange colors in the super chat. Yellow's nice too.
Any super chat is just nice. I mean, everything is great. But yeah, great. Thank you guys so much. I will not see you tomorrow, and you'll not see me. You will see Stuart tomorrow. So join in with him, and then I will see you, Stuart. And what time is that for you? 3, it's 10 on Friday.
3 o'clock would be 10 a.m. for me. Yeah.
So I'll see you 10 a.m., which isn't. I mean, you're already awake and everything, but I'll see you 10 a.m. on Friday, Stuart.
Yes.
To do at least 2.5 hours of filming, if not 3, as we know.
Yes.
And I'll spend, if not 3 to 4 hours editing, and then talk to you for another 3 hours.
Yes. You're going to see a lot of us in the next little while, guys.
I'm going to see a lot of you. And then not until the weekend.
You love it. You
do. And
Fleet Pass.
The last 2 episodes on Picard Season 1 tomorrow. Or Episode 1
tomorrow. Yes. Fleet Pass Swiftback puts in $4.99. Thank you very much. I'm going to pay on faith for 250 likes. Quick hashtag like spike, y'all. Really, we haven't hit 250 likes yet. 280 of you here. Come on, guys. If you haven't hit like. It's simple. Just get us to 250 before as we're closing out, because we're pretty much done.
Yeah, this is the final challenge then. We're at 238 likes. Everyone click like right
12.
now.
Come on. 12 people hit like. If you haven't hit like, there's 12 of you out there that haven't hit the like button. It's a thumbs up thing. See, it looks like this. Yep. Make sure you hit that.
247. Come on, let's see that number just burn through the roof. Come on, guys. 253. Come on. Everyone needs to click like. We did it 250. Now I want to see 250. Now I want to see 270. I'm challenging you all. I don't think we're gonna do it, but I mean, we could if you click like on your phone, and you don't even need an account on YouTube to click like. That's amazing. So literally all of you can do it. Only 250. Only 263. Come on. 270. Come on.
7 people. Come on, guys.
Come on.
7 people. We hit 270 and we're off the air. Let's do it. Thank you, Dale. You are awesome as well. Good to see you back, sir. Hope you're feeling a lot better.
269. 269.
One more like.
270.
One more like. There we go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. You completed our goal. Jarzia puts in $2. $2 for 270. Thank you very much, Jarzia. Jarzia won the last super chat of the event. So there you go.
You guys are amazing. He'll see you tomorrow. You'll see our faces tomorrow during the day in the video.
That's right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, buddy.